But if you're going to play Black Sheep Golf Course, who else would you want to walk this course with you, right? Who's your favorite golfer? Who do you think plays this course best? I only know Tiger Woods and then, Tarkanian and all those guys, but who is your favorite golfer?
Abby Scheffler.
I like Scheffler, yeah.
Scheffler? Okay. Because what we're going to do is basically what I like to do, and this is going to tie in, you're going to see how this ties in, is as we are working in this space. So what I did is I went to chat, and this is how I like to always work my chat. If I'm going to be, oops, where did it go? If I'm going to be playing Black Sheep, right? So here's our Black Sheep golf tips for Black Sheep. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say, is it Abby Scheffler, right?
Scotty.
Scotty Scheffler. Okay. Act as my turned around kind of roles here. And Scotty Scheffler is going to be my caddy. What would he teach me if I was walking this course? Act as him and the best golfers in the world to teach me how to play Black Sheep and give me the best tips so I can smoke the people I'm golfing with this week. Right? So as you can see, the role that I'm doing here, all right, strap in because Scotty Scheffler is on the bag today with Tiger and Rory chiming in over the earpiece. So you got a good one, right? This is what's great about this because you've got professional golfers. They're really literally, they're going to query all the stuff they found on Reddit, all the stuff that they found about these golfers, right? Which is crazy. And they're going to tell you the best way to golf Black Sheep. Par five scoring zones, drivable par fours, wind up hills, the short game putting tour secrets, mental game, how the pros would think out here, right? Every shot is his own battle. I like this. This one actually, I did one prior when we were talking. It says in summary, if Tiger were talking to you, it said Black Sheep doesn't care if you drive big or small spinners. It'll test your smarts and your creativity and your humility. That was kind of cool, but there were some really cool tips here. The top 10 that I liked is it said understand the wind because there's a lot of wind stuff to deal with
It's
there.
wide open. It's not, yeah.
Yeah, it
Not up
seems
there.
like that, right?
Yeah.
So if you come in, okay, how do you use this information? What's great is you can come in and you're meeting with your people and be like, hey guys, I got some ideas and some tips for you guys today while we're golfing. One thing I know about this course, I've never golfed it, but I did some research on it. This is a super wide open thing. Wind is going to be a factor. Pick your line smart and you know the trouble spots. The second, fifth, and ninth and 14th hole are kind of like these crazy things. Here's what I know about it. The people you're golfing with are going to be like, who the F are you? This is
Yeah.
amazing. Right?
Yeah. It
That
builds trust, which is crazy.
it will build trust, but it's also what's really fun is it's going to help you get better at this. And so what I did and what I wanted to tie this into is the role that we're always asking ChatGPT. So after this is the thing that I did. So right now it's acting as a professional golfer, and that is the thing I wanted to make sure we're utilizing. So here's what I did. Here's what you do is you update the link. So I copied this link and that way I can share it with you guys, right? I'll put this in here. That's how you share your chats. And if we
So
haven't been
cool.
doing
How did
so
you do that? You copied it and then you just put it down in.
How did you even go to copy link? Where did you go
so right
first?
here in the
Oh,
upper
okay.
right hand corner, it's going to go to share and it's going to say, here you go. At first it'll say copy link, but since I put a new prompt in there, it'll say update link. You update that link and then it'll give you that and then you can share it. So you'll share that with each other. So if you guys are doing something together and you're like, hey, I came up with this really cool chat today. Let me just show you pieces of it. You can just share it with Pete or you can share it with Timmy or anybody that has it, right? Timmy probably has done this before with his homies
Yeah.
like holy cow, I just figured out this entire shortcut of all this homework. I got to share this chat with you, right? You can
Yeah,
do
I've
those
shared.
things totally. And so that's what's great about that. Then to tie this together, here's some of the things that I was gonna just type out all the roles that you should have chat do, but I was like, oh, I'll just have chat tell me what that looks like, right? So the best roles to have chat GPT speak to you in, and this is after, man, I did this for like 2 months and I did not figure out the right roles. And for you guys, I did a bunch of research on like which roles will be the best for Catum and your lifestyles. And so there's multitudes of roles, but I think this is the best roles for you guys when it comes to using ChatGPT. And so I liked this one. Here we go. And I'm going to share this chat with you too here. Let me 1 second here. And when I say roles, does that make sense? What I'm talking about is how to ask, how to ask ChatGPT to act as a certain role. And here's
Yeah.
what I was talking about, right? For you guys, I wanted to help you guys create your own personal GPTs where in that GPT, they're going to either act as a expert specialist, $1 million copywriter. I thought this was kind of nice, kind of a psychologist for you guys, a listening avatar that'll analyze kind of like, hey, maybe I'm having an issue with the client or a employee. What would be a like non-violent communication tactic to use with
I
this if
thought about
there's something?
using that with Doug with the last
Mhm.
chance agreement. Sorry, keep going.
No, totally. I think these are some good ones. The Hollywood storyteller, this is something we're going to dive deeper into, Tina, with you and your copy when you're making your posts and things of that nature. So we're going to create that GPT for you there. And then you've got the Fortune 500 consultant, the contrarian, and I thought this could be like the faith-based mentor, like if you had a faith-based mentor in there. You want to start getting into the practice of when you prompt, you're asking ChatGPT to act as a certain person or in a certain role. Because
How
when
did
Oh,
you
you
I
give
like
it,
the devil's advocate
yeah, the devil's advocate's a great one. What were you saying,
because then
Pete? Oh,
how did you get to all these? Where do you how do you
oh, these, I'm going to share this chat with you guys.
okay, so this sounds really stupid, and Timmy's probably gonna like want to punch me after asking this. So I see that Ray is not looking at her phone, but she is texting me what you're sharing in the chat. Do you have your phone synced to your laptop so you can see texts? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was just, I figured that was the question. I was like, I'm gonna just like chat GPT it later, and I'm like, I'm just gonna ask it now. So, and you would just, you ask chat GPT for these prompts, and then you just create, like, if you were us, you would just create a folder for it so you could go back. But then I
Totally.
guess if you wanted to, oh, like I say, I use the devil's advocate a lot. I could just start my own for the devil's advocate, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And well, you don't always have to start a new folder to do that. As you start having these types of conversations, what chat's going to do is remember your stuff. So I always have chat GPT right in the format for me whenever I answer an email or whenever I answer a message for clients. I say, hey, can you write in my humor? And you remember my humor style, which is Bill Burr is a comedian who's super crass, like really dirty, but I still think it's hysterical. And then I have Jordan Peterson, and then I like the descriptive nature of Hunter S. Thompson sometimes, right? But that's shifting a little bit. Now I like Wes Huff and some of these Christian coaches and things like that. So the way that I'm answering is changing. So it will remember how we like to do that. And Tina, if you're like, hey, I need you to act as devil's advocate again, but also as my mentor, but and start telling who your
You can
mentors
combine
are.
two different, yeah.
And you should combine all of them. You should
Yeah.
combine everybody that's it that you really love learning from. That way you can query some of the best information. And you can even use like the ideas in biblical teachings. Like I have a faith-based chat GPT at that I usually ask. I'm like, hey, I'm going through a seriously difficult problem right now. Which part of scripture should I reference? And can you dumb it down like I'm five so
Yeah,
I
it
understand?
actually like held me accountable because I asked it a question and they're like, but based on your faith, blah 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 blah, that probably it wouldn't align with your values. And I'm like, oh
Right.
snaps.
watch your mouth,
Snaps.
Daddy?
Basically like creating
I
your
named what was it?
advisory board, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I named it
And that's
Chatty because it's like a friend to me now, which sounds weird, but I'm like, I gotta ask Chatty.
I love
and so it's great that you're using that. Now, I want to also just preface this too, as you do that, continue to ask it, but remember that it is not emotional. So even though it sounds incredibly emotional, just to balance that with your emotional intelligence. Because one thing that I was getting so excited, I was like, I found I was using chat as a psychologist for all these things, and I was like, would I actually do that? Does that even make sense? And so you gotta insert in there because its only job is to make sure that you feel good. And that is like a one-sided friend that does not give you the input. It will give you good stuff to balance off of, but you want to make sure that you're using both. So there's that chat. So what would be
You
great
go
for
back
us.
and show them the prompt that you used to come up with those people too.
Oh, totally. So in this case, I went for this, or what are the main roles I want to tell AI to act like to get the best prompts and best results from ChatGPT. That was my first one.
So do you see
And
that?
then what you would also do too in that, I would say too, I would put that prompt in here and I'd say, knowing what you know about Cadam trucking, Tina and Pete, what do you also think would be some other roles that would be really good for them to ask ChatGPT to act like as well too, knowing that they're a faith-based family of 7 kids and Pete, which is basically having 8 kids. So like, hold on real fast. Let me open my whisper flow and paste that back in there. But so that's what you want to do is you really want to ask ChatGPT to really act as a certain role every time you, as many times as you can, because that just helps you get such better output. Got a little sidekick here. Meow.
Aw.
What?
Where has he been this whole time? Is he almost 3? Because he acts more like a 3-year-old than a 2-year-old.
In November.
He'll be,
November. So
November.
Mhm.
yeah.
Because our 18-month-old, I'm like, I'm dying for him to be 3. That's like when it's so easy, so much easier.
Oh yeah, he's definitely getting a little bit more chill now. I just
Yeah.
throw him in front of a sandwich or something. He's usually pretty good. Let's see here. So this one, what are the main roles for cab trucking? So you're asking for 2 layers here is basically what it says. Universal best roles, including you can squeeze the most juice out of ChatGPT, and a specialized role for changers at Cadam Trucking, Teen and Pete, and a faith-based family of 8. So there's a few different things, right? So if I want to share this with you guys too, remember we got to hit share again and then update the link. Once that's updated, then I share it so you guys get the updated chats that are in there.
And I need to sync my phone so I can just save that. Because like, if you want these, then we have to.
On the personality test, what does it mean that I'm a logician?
Logician, logistics person, I believe, but I
Mhm.
could be off. Um,
It'll give you like analytics on it all, so it'll explain it. But again, you can kind of also put that into chat and say, like,
Hmm.
explain this to me like a 7-year-old.
Yeah.
Break this down and what can I do? Give me some action steps from this that will change my life. Like, or what are new levels of awareness that I can, or new mindsets I can hold on to now that I know this
Okay.
about myself. Mhm.
So I did like this recommendations. It did say lean heavily on the family operations manager, which I think we covered in the beginning of this, and then the financial stewardship mentor and marriage business alignment coach, which will save your sanity. Which I think you guys are doing really good. I think kind of the 3 things that Ray and I have definitely learned from you guys is that working family operations manager is a massive big lift. Even if it comes down to having that person that might come in and help you watch the kids or whatever, she can take a snapshot of your fridge with her phone and be like, hey, I just didn't know what to make, but I took a snapshot of the fridge. This is what it suggested with what you have. I'm going to make that for the kids today. And little things like that will really help.